You promised yourself this would be the last time, again. Now your room is quiet, your phone is face down, and you feel sick of yourself. Not dramatic sadness, just exhaustion, the kind that comes from repeating a cycle you genuinely wanted to escape. A few minutes ago, your brain wanted relief. Now you just feel empty again. That's the terrifying part about relapse. The pleasure fades fast, but the disappointment lingers. And maybe the scariest thing tonight is this. You reached for your phone afterward almost automatically, like your mind already knew the routine. Delete history, avoid your reflection, promise yourself tomorrow will be different. Again, that should scare you, because habits repeated long enough stop feeling like choices. They start feeling like identity. And deep down, and maybe that's what hurts most now, not only the relapse, the fear that this is slowly becoming who you are. Listen carefully. Shame survives by making people feel permanently broken. That's why after relapse, the mind becomes dangerous. You start hearing thoughts like, "You'll never change. You always come back here. What's the point anymore?" But those thoughts are not wisdom, they are exhaustion speaking. Real wisdom tells the truth differently. Real wisdom says, you cannot keep feeding what is destroying your peace. That truth hurts, but it heals too. Because maybe tonight you finally need to stop lying to yourself about something. You are not only fighting lust, you are fighting escape. Escape from stress, escape from loneliness, escape from pressure, escape from uncomfortable emotions you never learned to sit with honestly. That's why temptation grows louder at night. Silence exposes what distraction hides. Ancient monks used to sit alone in silence for hours because they believed a man unable to face himself honestly would eventually become controlled by impulse. Modern people do the opposite. The second silence appears, we run towards stimulation, scrolling, videos, noise, anything to avoid being alone with our own thoughts too long. But constant distraction weakens the mind, and a weak mind negotiates with temptation. That's why relapse usually begins before the temptation itself. It begins with exhaustion, isolation, boredom, overstimulation, unaddressed pain. Then comes the dangerous moment, just 5 minutes, and suddenly another night disappears. Temporary pleasure, permanent emptiness. Now maybe you're lying there, staring into darkness, wondering something painful. Does God still listen to someone who keeps failing like this? Listen carefully now. God is not shocked by your struggle, but he also refuses to let you stay enslaved by it peacefully. That's important. Because grace is not permission to destroy yourself endlessly. Grace is the invitation to stand back up honestly every time you fall. Peter failed publicly. David collapsed into lust and destruction. Paul admitted there was war happening inside himself constantly. Broken people are not rejected by God, but hiding keeps people broken longer. Addiction survives in secrecy. That means tonight cannot only become another emotional breakdown. Something practical must change too. The routines, the late night habits, the environment feeding weakness, the endless access to temptation, because you cannot pray for freedom while constantly protecting the chains. That truth cuts deeply, but it's real. So maybe tonight, instead of performing spirituality, you finally pray, honestly. Not impressive words, just truth. God, I'm tired. Tired of fighting the same war every night. Tired of disappointing myself. Tired of promising change while secretly feeding the habits weakening me. Part of me wants freedom. Another part still keeps reaching for escape. And honestly, I don't fully know how to fix myself anymore. So I need your help. Teach me discipline when my emotions collapse. Teach me how to sit in discomfort without running from it instantly. Show me what pain underneath this addiction I keep avoiding. And when shame tells me to hide from you, remind me to come back honestly instead, because I don't want to stay trapped in cycles forever. I want peace, self-control, a stronger mind, a cleaner heart, and a life I can respect privately again. Hey man, now breathe slowly for a second. Seriously. One bad night does not erase your future. One relapse does not make rebuilding impossible. One failure does not cancel growth, but healing requires war now, not motivation. War, daily discipline, interrupting patterns earlier, protecting your attention, learning silence again, being honest about what triggers weakness, quietly, repeatedly, patiently. Because real strength is not pretending you never fall. Real strength is refusing to surrender your identity every time you do.